The Muffler, the Messerschmitt 262, the first jet fighter of World War II to go into service. And there was one on the British side called the Meteor, Australian series. Yes, Tony's back here talking about planes. But the two never met in World War II. They never fought against each other. It's like one of those great rivalries that could have happened but didn't. It's a bit like, I don't know, Muhammad Ali never fighting Mike Tyson. Something like that. 13-13-32. Rita is in Springvale. Hi, Rita. Very well, thanks, Rita. Yeah. Hang on, just repeat it. Turmeric, you're talking about turmeric, are you? Yeah. And for what? What does that do then, Rita? Okay. Okay. Okay, thanks for that, Rita. I'm not sure I got any of that. I heard IXL in there. The company that John Elliott used to run. Do you remember that? I remember the ad. I think the name of the company came from, we'll put Bianca on the spot here. Bianca IXL, do you remember where that name came from? It was explained in an ad once. Going back about 30 years ago. I wouldn't have even been born. If you know 13, 13, 32, where did the name IXL come from? They're a jam company. I'm not even sure if they're around anymore. IXL. Did they become Monbulk, or was Monbulk merged with IXL? Somebody will know. There'll be an amateur jam historian out there somewhere who will know. If you're a fan of condiment history, maybe you're a fan of preserves history, and you have some crossover with jam. Interesting things seen on the way to Adelaide on the recent road trip, and I would love to know if anybody's actually been to this. Forgive me for not knowing the name of the town. I'm not making this up either. Pinball Museum. There was a pinball museum. You could have gone and I guess had a look at, let's say, the Kiss one, or the Playboy one, or whatever great pinball games there were. The Dukes of Hazzard one, the 18 one, any great shows from the 70s normally ended up with their own pinball machine. But there is a pinball museum that is regional Australia, Victoria, or South Australia. Anyway, the phone number here is 13 13 32, 13 13 32. It is the 50th anniversary this week of Talkback Radio. Talkback Radio does not happen without your calls. And that number is 13 13 32. Phone lines are open. Bianca is doing nothing. This is an intolerable situation. We cannot let this stand. She is sitting behind the glass screen doing her nails with her hair in rollers, doing her footy tipping, and having a lively debate on a Formula One chat forum where she is wading into recent rule changes and she's not happy. She's not happy. Typing furiously, she is. She should be answering the phone. You all know that. 13 13 32. It's 40 minutes past 2.
3AW Nights with Steve Price. Now, football crowds haven't really changed that much. The abuse is still there, and words like hate, coward, cheat are hurled at players every weekend around the nation. Weeknights, 8 till 10. You wouldn't believe the sort of hurtful abuse that people like myself or Andrew Bolt get on a daily basis. But who's screaming about that? No one. And where is the abuse coming from? Well, it's coming from the sort of people who get hysterical about what these football supporters have said. On 3AW 693. Innocentia is a true ageing in place residence. Join us for our open day, Saturday, April 29th for a coffee and a sausage sizzle, featuring 178 spacious rooms, amazing views and a range of health and lifestyle support services. Blue Cross Ivanhoe is committed to providing personalised care for every resident. Blue Cross Ivanhoe Overpay, Saturday, April 29th, 10 till 4, in the heart of Ivanhoe, 250 Watdale Road. For details, call 1300 133 414 or visit bluecross.com.au. It's Brett Steen from Jacaranda Financial Planning, here to sort out your super and retirement. Heard on the radio for years, we provide trusted, clear superannuation and retirement advice. Book now for Brett's free super and retirement planning seminar, 6 p.m. Thursday, April 27 at the Mercure Hotel. Learn tips and tricks, transitions, and how to make your super work. Book your Jacaranda on 1800 40 2610. That's Jacaranda Financial Planning, 1800 40 2610. Massive Easter sale gives you the power of our giant giveaway on Toyota tyres. Simply buy 3 and get 1 free on a great range of Toyota passenger car and SUV tyres. Conditions apply. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 3021 Hardy for your local owner operator.
Most parents agree that junior sport is about kids getting exercise and having fun at the same time. But for some kids, that fun becomes a nightmare when they're put under constant pressure by parents and spectators. Yelling out instructions from the sidelines or banging on about what you think they did wrong can turn kids away from sport for good. I'm Caitlin Thwaites from the Australian Diamonds, and it's time to let kids be kids. Google Play by the Rules to find out more.
It's Coles Fresh Specials time. Pick up Coles Fresh Aussie celery for just 90 cents a bunch. And new seasoned Aussie Imperial and Satsuma mandarins. And now just $3.90 a kilo. $3.90. For more Coles Fresh Specials, visit your local Coles.
It is 17 minutes past 3, and the phone number is 13 13 32. Chris just brought us back from the bluegrass state of Kentucky, home of fine fried chicken. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning again. I heard Billy was taking orders.
Yes, he wanted the wine. I think it was 2 cases from the back of your truck.
Oh, yeah. There's something about potatoes, too.
Yeah, I think he wanted you to deliver a load of potatoes. So if you can find somewhere crossing the Pacific in your 24-wheeler.
The logistics of that is kind of tough. Well, ignore the fact they don't have a passport.
Yeah.
And there's no bridge between San Diego and Brisbane.
Yeah. Look, apart from that, though, yeah, exactly. Let's not get caught up, okay, let's just think positively about this. Wondering how you would do it. Look, where there's a will, there's a way. I think you wanted a sack of potatoes and a case of wine. Basically,
$7 a kilo. I can talk about 20,000 a kilo. That might be worth a lot.
yeah. Well, I reckon it would. Certainly at that rate. What are you paying for potatoes, can I ask, Chris?
5 pound bag, I think it's maybe $6 American.
Okay, so that's 5 pounds is 2.5 kilos, yeah. But okay, yours are pretty clear. Can I ask you this, Chris, because I do find this very interesting. You know, with North Korea launching a missile and all that sort of stuff, you do have people in America. What are the names of them? They are people who are basically preparing for doomsday, and they live off the grid, and they live in rural, locations where they have stockpiled food for the coming Armageddon. Are you across that phenomenon, Chris?
I'm aware of it. I've got a name for it. They call them nutcase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, talking about that, all the talk last week was about us dropping that big bomb on Afghanistan.
Yes, the mother of all bombs.
Yeah, I think the official name of it is Massive Weapon Airburst Bomb.
Yeah.
And you know they came up with that name just to get us to that acronym. Right?
Well, if they did, good on them. Because it used to be called
hands around that acronym? HMFB?
HMFB.
Yeah, it stands for Huge Mother
Yes, yes. I think that may be in the ISIS field reports. That may be what it's been referred to as they send some paperwork to head office saying we were recently hit with the HMFB bomb.
Yeah, could have been. And then the allegedly told the story that they're bragging about their 6,000-pound bomb.
Yeah.
They scored our 21,000-pound bomb. You know that Vladimir Putin coming, wanting to come out and say, might bigger.
Yeah, exactly. It's short man syndrome.
Yeah, the only thing missing is Angela Merkel saying, knock it off, boy, I'll break out the state majorly.
Beautifully put, Chris. I can't top that. Thank you for the call. Barbara is in Frankston. Hello, Barbara. You called on 13 13 32. I'm very well, Barbara.
I think it's just their own girls. It's not just the acronym, but it's many five girls. Five excellent, five big girls. That's what it is.
Yes, do you remember the ad? I think it featured a quote from whoever started the company, and I think it went, I excel in all I do. Yeah, so that then became the name of the company. And you're right, it doesn't stand for, I don't know, international.
No.
Yeah. So there you go. Do you know if they're still around anymore, Barbara?
I think since you said there's something taken over by somebody else. No, I haven't seen it for years.
They're probably owned by the Chinese now.
Yes,
Another one of those brands that no longer on our shelves. Well, thank you for that, Barbara. You've answered that beautifully. I'm trying to figure out what the connection was between ISO and Mumbai. Mumbai is certainly not around anymore. Up there with White Wings Muesli. Remember White Wings Muesli? Oh, yeah, good eating. Alex Highsmith, another one, not around anymore. Sandra is in Swan Hill. Good morning, young lady.
the other two announcements were great. But, it seems back to normal now with you and Bianca.
Yeah.
You two sparring, and I don't know, it just seems back to normal.
It feels normal.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
We're in Mildura, not this Friday, but Friday before, and we were having Friday, Sunday, I can't remember, and we were having breakfast outdoors at a cafe.
Yeah.
And there'd been a plane show up there, I think, something to do with planes.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting out, and all of a sudden, this plane, huge, massive, black, went overhead. The covers even shook.
Wow.
It was, I've never heard anything so loud in my life.
There was an air show up there, and I heard that there was going to be 2 hornets there.
Got a horn?
Yeah, was it very loud?
Oh,
You just said it was very loud, didn't you?
I've got no idea.
Yeah, okay, that'll be a hornet, like a super hornet, which is louder than a paper hornet. And let me see, what have we got here? The first air show was in '96, held to celebrate the multi-million dollar project with Steve Majora Airport runway. There was one in 2002, I think I went to that one. But look, what I remember hearing is they were going to send some pretty impressive planes there, and it sounds like they did. So that was, what were you actually doing in Mildura, Sandra?
We had our grandson down for a week with the holidays, and we took him back.
Oh, okay. And so what part of town are they in again?
Cabarita.
Oh, that's...
You know the lake?
Yes, yeah.
Down there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, down the lake.
So you didn't... Now, is he the boy who was actually interested in flying?
He is, absolutely. We went for, he's 16, no, he's whatever, and he's on his own. So So we drove and we drove and we drove.
Oh, yes.
And we went out to the airport, and there was a plane out there, and its wings were down. It was a huge plane, huge, but it had its wings down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Let's see. But the Hornet is designed for use on an aircraft carrier. Its wings fold. Is that what you mean? So then they...
Yeah, yeah, okay. What did they used to use the Hornet for?
Well, it's a fighter, and it's an attack plane. And what, World War II? No, it's a jet. So it's a current one. But Mildura was a very important airbase during the Second World War. Very important.
Really?
Yeah.
Olympiad is having a fit.
She's having conniptions.
And when you were talking to that guy about potatoes, what are you going to do with all those potatoes?
Well, Billy from Innocentia, we've had a long-running, discussion about the price of potatoes because he won't pay $7 a kilo.
Okay.
And so I think he was probably the victim of a potato shark, who I think is probably somebody who goes around selling overpriced potatoes, and I think Billy was maybe taken in by this person who was probably silver-tongued, had him believing that these are really good potatoes and worth $7 a kilo, and Billy paid them on Billy says it's Monday. But Chris, who's a truckie in America, said that, well, Billy said, well, why doesn't he deliver a load of potatoes to me? But the problem with that is he would need to get from Kentucky to Inverloch before the potatoes go off.
Maybe he could get a couple of ornaments.
Well, that's a great idea.
You reckon?
Yes, you fly them across the Pacific with air-to-air refueling and you're done. Give him a laser-guided potato.
Yeah, well, I like charisma, which is from coal, only coal, and there's no carbon in it. My husband's got diabetes, so yeah, they're great.
How do you do them, Sandra?
Mainly I do them in foil very slowly in the oven.
Yeah.
And because you wash them, but they're not dirty, they're very, very clean.
Yeah.
And then when they're cooked, I cut them sort of crossways.
Yeah.
Fill them with coleslaw, sour cream, and sweet chili. Or then I do them in a dish and just sort of bake them with a little bit of olive oil. There's lots of, or steam them.
Yeah.
But I don't boil them.
Right. So they don't do boiling well, is that what you're saying?
No, they don't. Unless you leave the skin on. You could leave the skin on.
Yeah, but you're dancing with, danger there, so don't do it.
Yeah, no.
Well, thank you, Sandra.
Oh, can I say hi to Tino?
Well, Tino's been a bit quiet.
That's what I thought. I mean, I'm awake asleep awake when you're old to do all that.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard him either, and I thought, oh, okay, maybe he's not well.
Well, I hope he's well, because I was looking forward to a debrief of the Carlton game with him, because there are many green shoots there to discuss.
And thank God Collins got those.
Which I couldn't agree more with that sentiment, Sandra.
Now you're going to get all these calls from Collingwood about that silly bird in the podcast.
No, never. But I totally, look, when Collingwood lose, I have to say it never displeases me greatly. I do like Bucks, I've got to say. I'm a fan. Thank you, Sandra. Lovely to speak, as always. John is in Clyde. Hi, John.
You must be a Carlton supporter.
Through and through.
I can tell. I'm a Collingwood supporter.
Well, throw a stick in Melbourne and you'll hit a Collingwood supporter. Come on.
They say to you, what team do you root for? You say the senior level, I think they're Collingwood.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Mate, talking about IX7,
Yes.
it's owned now by SPC.
Ah, okay.
I don't know who owns SPC. It was owned by Elders, and that's probably where John Elliott came into it.
Of course. Elders IXL. I should have known. So now I know SPC is Shepparton Processing Company.
Yeah, I think that's right, yeah.
Okay. And now, how do you know all of this, John?
Because I've been driving from Mornington and getting back to Pakenham, and I Googled it on the way.
Ah, well done. So you're not the amateur jam historian I was calling for.
No, but I did read up that it was, they also started a jam factory in France many years ago, which is still going.
Yeah, it is.
And there's also a jam factory in Adelaide. Amazing to think, isn't it, when you go down that street, to think that once upon a time, there's always young women, let's say, in Iran, but you go back 100 years, those same young women were there making jam. It just seems a bit odd. And then you go further up, you would know, John, and you get to the Redheads factory in Burnley, or pretty much up the same street. You cross the river, but you've got the old Brian and May's factory now, which has been repurposed into. And you've got the what, sorry, John? Lost him. There we go. Well, yeah, go, John.
Yeah.
So you've got those, like those two old factories, but still in use and still beautiful architecture. And you imagine what that place would have been like 100 years ago.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, indeed. All right, well, thank you, John. Now to you, John, I've got to put you on the spot. Do you think Bucks will make it to the end of the year?
I think he will. I don't think Collingwood will.
You're my favourite Collingwood supporter, a smart Collingwood supporter with a sense of humour. Thank you, John. Stuart is in Carrum Downs. Hi, Stuart.
How you going, Tony?
Good, thanks, Stuart.
Just got 2 points. The second one with the football, but the first one with IXL. Posted a picture on your Facebook page.
Okay.
You can buy IXL store at Woolworths, and Raspberry Jam is the one I posted on the Facebook page. And yeah, I tell you what, it's one of the best jams, and I've always bought it. And I think the label actually says it's established in 1898. And I'm not that old, I'm maybe 37, but always, even with my mum, she always has IXL in her fridge as well.
Do you remember when it was in tins?
In what?
Tins. I remember IXL selling jams in tins that you had to open with a tin can opener.
My mum might remember that, but I don't remember that. But yeah, just with the football, so callers before, I think it was Billy Beaver once saying that, you know, North Melbourne's a chance for Woodland Food. I'm a North Melbourne supporter, and it's been heartbreaking this year. Both games we've lost. We lost 4 games, but 2 games against Geelong and Bulldogs, we've been up by 5 goals and lost. I think we're more competitive than people believe, and I do think we'll win more games than people believe. And I don't think we'll finish in the bottom 4. And yeah, I think.
How are you losing these games then? What happens?
Well, you know what? I know he's taken us to finals in recent years.
Yeah.
But I do not like our coach. When the floodgates open, they open worse than Northern Queensland.
Yes.
Teams kick 5 goals within, Cooey, and we've got no defensive. If you go through North Melbourne's history, when we were a good team, we had a really good backline.
Yeah.
The likes of Mickey Martin, John Blakey,
yes,
Darren Crocker, all those sort of players left. We haven't really replaced them, and it's just so telling. And even as fullback Scotty Thompson, he's left flat-footed so often.
Yeah.
He's a good backman. He tries his heart out, but he lacks pace, and he can't get back when the other team quickly runs into their forward line. And we are a shadow of what we were as a club, and it'll take a long while before we're back in the top 4. But I'll tell you what, I reckon we'll go close to probably making about 11th or 12th position. I can't see us finishing the bottom 4.
All right. Now, what do you think of the 3 high-profile delistings at the end of last year? How do you think that's working out?
Put it this way, if we had 2 out of the 3, we had Drew Mahavi and Petrie still at the club, we would have beaten Geelong, and we would have beaten the Bulldogs. Having lost them, it is really heartbreaking. For what it's more.
Can I tell you, as a non-North Melbourne fan, I've got to say that was definitely one of the oddest.
Yep.
It just seemed like Boomer Harvey, especially. I know he's 37 or something.
Well, exactly.
But he's still easily had another season in there. I didn't understand that decision at all.
Well, Tony, if he was still at our class, I've got no doubt those 2 close games we lost this year, he would have made a difference. And you could ask 100 North Melbourne supporters, what do you think about that decision? 98 or 99, possibly even 100 would disagree with it. And I tell you what, I know at least probably about eight to nine supporters that haven't renewed their membership this year because of that. And there's a bit of taste at our club, and you know, Brad Scott, he said about 5 or 6 years ago, he said, we don't want the Shimboner tag and all this, and he actually stopped it. And then all of a sudden this year, if you go to North Melbourne Football Club, up the top of Arnold Street on the complex says be a Shimboner.
Yeah.
He's trying to bring it back, but the damage is done. And I don't care what we do for the rest of the year and next year. Once his contract's up, I think a lot of supporters are glad to see he's back.
All right, well, we'll see how that pans out. Thank you for that, Stuart. Now, just further to IXL, which was brought up earlier, Bianca's brought up the Wikipedia page. There are footnotes, so I'm going to assume this is all reliable. During the fruit season, by 1880, it was named Red Cross Preserving Company. During the fruit season, it employed 230 people. It was the largest employer in Paran. Mr. William Peacock bought the premises and turned it into the OK Jam Company in 1895 and resold it to Henry Jones of the Henry Jones IXL Proprietary Limited Company, which, of course, later on was the company that John Elliott was head of, which was pointed out by another listener. Jam production continued in the building for this firm until 1970. Then the site was redeveloped. There you go. 13/13/32. Now, am I imagining things? Bianca and I both think that jam used to come from IXL in tins, if you remember that. I want to confirm that I'm the fan there, nor is Bianca. 23 minutes to 3. That's the time over here, 23 minutes to 3. No, hang on, that's the time. Phone number is 13/13/32. Okay,
Which part of your investment property is the most important, the bricks and mortar or the rent your tenants pay each month? With Terry Shear Landlord Insurance, your investment property is covered for accidental or deliberate damage caused by tenants, and you're covered for loss of rent. Terry Shear Landlord Insurance, award-winning cover from just $1 a day. Terry Shear acts on behalf of who represents the product issuer. Before buying, read the PDS at terryshear.com.au. It feels good when I miss you. Sunny sky is blue.
How do you do? I'm Scott Goodman from Goodman Group Lawyers. You've taken care of the funeral, now you need to obtain probate. I'm not sure where to start. You need Goodman Group Lawyers. There's a strict time limit of 6 months to contest a will. Now, you need Goodman Group Lawyers. We don't charge hourly rates or bill you for each phone call. We'll give you a fixed price, guaranteed. You need Goodman Group Lawyers. Visit goodmangroup.com.au to arrange your first free consultation with one of my expert lawyers. Goodman Group Lawyers, your lawyers. Hello, I'm Dr. Greg for the Family Peace Foundation. Children can thrive in just 8 minutes a day and need loving, warm, undivided attention from their parents. Yes, that's all it takes for you. Just 8 minutes of really loving, warm, undivided attention for your children every day. To find out more, go to the Family Peace website or Facebook page now and view actual video in 8 minutes a day. Family Peace. It's in your smiles. The colour is rich. The feel is soft. And every blade is perfect. It is more than just glass. It is warm, marble, and it is magnificent. Australian design for Australian conditions. Mum's Warm Fertilisers can help you create a life that is green and lighter and warm to be proud of. To create a life it must be nice.
Paolo is back. Well, I should say, he was back last week, but I was away. But now Bob and I are reunited, which is good. He's in at 3 o'clock, which is a little too late. 14:32. Quite been in Delaney.
Yeah, I felt really very keen. I wanted to babies out there.
Yeah.
And but I felt, which is very, very tired, would be my first happening in July.
Now, what era are we talking?
Oh, so okay. You were really, really started. I think you feel like customers and stuff like that. If you don't do much fun, I haven't been there.
Yeah.
Just, my daughter in the house. And this is what I found. I just learned when I first got married in 60. And years ago, I went through 80.
Okay.
And kind of away from home.
Now, I'm trying to think if it was by the same outside company and whether or not they're
No,
like.
it was the actual sector. Original.
Okay. So what are you got?
Jan for Henry Jones, the last one that I can remember.
Yeah. So what was the connection then between Henry Jones and IXL? Was it just a brand name?
I don't know, because it's interesting that there are two brand names. Then there was that IXL had something to do with mathematics.
Yes.
I can vaguely remember that. But to me, someone said after I was a dad, it was about that you had to do it yourself.
Well, it's about, it was a backwell IXL, I'm being told.
Yes, that's right.
There you go.
Yeah, but we all called it life that, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was quite like a quasi-Western good girl stuff.
Oh, it's very, it's a great thing about going into the colder months, the idea of just being kept warm with, a snack, crackle and pop fry, put some eucalyptus in or something, there's just nothing better.
In the Victoria bottom, we had, it was not good. Chickens with their mothers abandoned to the kids' school place.
What, and you dry them?
No, you warm them. It was very gentle warm in the bottom door. So you could put a little porridge chicken at the very deep, put it in a bin.
Right, okay. Until it was of a sufficient size to put it in to put it into something that was also very warm. Yes, indeed. That's how I like to warm a chicken.
No, that was cute. The first one I had on a first day, actually was in a really old farmhouse. And it had a hole in the oven. So I could cook up the top with a hole. I could cook scones and like pads.
Yeah.
Down the bottom, where it was hot, I could cook scones all at the same time.
Now, is that called a range? That sort of thing?
That one was just a smaller one, and it should have, then actually we had a hole, and then it was worn out at a hole. So we replaced it. But it never had a temperature factor with the first couple I had. You just put your hand in and said, yeah, that's right.
Okay, that's frontier cooking. I like it, man. It is. Well, how would you?
That in the last farmhouse, I had a goat and I had a ranch, a goat basket. And you buy my basket short bird,
Yeah.
put one tray in the same basket in your gas and one tray in the oven.
Yeah. Well, listen, we could never cook together, Pam, because you don't go by the rule book. You just sound like a dangerous renegade.
I just the person said what she really feel like.
No, it sounds very by the book. I'm by the book. Sorry. Well, that's how it is. I'm sure you are. I don't doubt it, Pam. But thank you for the call. You know how to use your equipment properly. Let's say today, I was quite happy with this. My brother's place, the family of my brother's place, the Easter barbecue of lamb, and I made a salad. Yes, I made a salad with broccoli, and it was really nice. And it was chickpeas. Yes, and parsley, and almonds, and capers, and garlic. from the jam factory when it was known as the AJC, the Australian Jam Company. How many identities does this particular company have? Well, maybe Gigi and Bernard can throw some light on this. Hello, Gigi.
I'm just trying to see the girl that becomes my mother had.
Yeah.
That still has a couple of skins in the cupboard. Love her, and I as well, and I think Avery Zero remember.
Yes. Now, so you've still got some of these tins.
Yes, I have.
I wonder if they're worth anything.
I don't know, because I haven't looked in that cupboard for quite some time.
Now, what is that a plum? I know plum was a popular flavour back then.
So I think it was strawberry and also apricot.
Oh, yes. I've had the classics.
Yes, maybe you there was apricot jam, which you made for cake.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, she buys something, but she would they have to be a day old, and then she slices some into big layers, some to slice into four, and then she would give up cream on top of it. There was one that had chocolate coffee in the cream,
Yeah.
and then before she put the cream on, she put the apricot jam.
Hang on, apricot cream and coffee.
Apricot jam, the cream on top.
That's very continental, isn't it?
It's just a layer, and
Yeah.
then the whole lot was covered in the same sort of chocolate cream with decoration. It had various combinations of that. She made a lot for the at the school one year.
How did it go? That's an odd collision of flavour, you've got to say.
It worked. I mean, it wasn't a very thin layer of the apricot jam.
Right, and did it have some sort of German name that extended out to 27 letters and stood for forest cake that the cuckoo bird inhabits on a cold Bavarian winter's morning?
This is something my mother had created.
Right.
So factory to Melbourne to make those and to continue making them as near as early. But we didn't have a conducting stove, but when we moved in, we had a cooker barrel stove
Yeah.
with the oven on one side, and next to it was a copper furnace.
Yeah.
And it also had the rack on top of the open warming.
Oh, yes, you've got to do that, especially when the weather's cold. The plates go straight in the microwave before dinner for a minute. No second longer. Thank you for that, Gigi. 12 minutes to 3. October tells me after 3. The time of the dinner 13:32.
Remember this.
It's time to review the country.
This. Midday today, July. Business local at the MCG. Jimmy Hotel, fuel, the Destiny Ninja. For KFC, where Ashford is football. Fast track your upgrade to X-Sport at the new Lexus Blackburn store at Westfield Doncaster. Upgrade to X-Sport with value in excess of $9,000 on select Lexus models while you shop. Make your way to the Lexus Blackburn store at Westfield Doncaster, level 1 between London and David Jones. Office 10 days. LexusBlackburn.com.au. English supply. FMCT 11193. G'day, I'm Rob Fletcher. Our great team in property management run one of the most successful rental and leasing businesses in the area. The key to success in property management today is Fletcher's. Find out more at fletchers.net.au. The first time I met James and the team at Tobin Brothers Funerals, I felt like I'd known them for years. They're so caring, honest and passionate. James sums up his team best when he says,
This place is pure of people, and we've got a wonderful team, wonderful group of men and women that just want to provide the very best to their client families, driven by this industry. And they want to get out of bed each morning and come here and do great things for people.
visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hello, I'm Dr. Michael K. Green for the Family Peace Foundation. Children can thrive on just 8 minutes a day of really loving, warm, undivided attention from their parents. Yes, that's all it takes from you. Just 8 minutes of really loving, warm, undivided attention for your children every
These traffic law experts can manage your case, relieve worry and stress, and help you keep your license. William Archer Defence Lawyers, the only dedicated traffic law firm in Victoria. WilliamArcher.com.au. Tony Mobley, honest human.
10 minutes to 3, Octavo in after 3. Vlado was called from Albury. Good morning, Vlado.
Talking about jam and pins, I remember that.
Yeah.
The end seemed a lot larger, not because I was small and the handles for, but I remember Nona was another.
Yes. No, the tins were big. You could, on summer day, you could scoop out the jam, fill it full of water, and about 3, sometimes 4 of your mates to play in it.
Yeah,
That could be something I'm misremembering.
you had to transfer it into a plastic container. You couldn't just leave it in there. That was the problem. My mum used to save a couple of margarine containers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun memories. I remember the tin and the sliced loaves of bread in a wrapped in mashed paper.
Yes. Yeah, I do remember. Now, was it Eater margarine featuring Rita the Eater Eater?
Right, yeah. The letter Leo was my favourite.
Well, there's that one where you turn your taste buds are on the tip of your tongue to turn your bread upside down. No, that's the Great Taste of Daffodil.
Yeah, the Mojo.
What's the Mojo?
The Mojo company, they did all like that. The letter Leo, you ought to be congratulated.
Yes.
That was by the Mojo advertising.
Well, see, 30 years later, we still remember the slogan, so they did their job well. Thank you, Vlado. Well, we've been stateside to Kentucky. Now, slightly closer to home, to our north and Ireland, beloved of many in Australia. Clayton's home, a beautiful place. It's Bali, it's where Craig lives. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, Mr. Nightclub. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to wish you a very happy Bali Easter.
Oh, okay. How does Easter go in Bali?
It doesn't really. There are Christians on the island who celebrate Easter, which is probably about 5% of the population.
Yeah.
And Easter is a very, very major time.
Well, do you know what? That's something you share in common with Australia because they were rare as hen's teeth, pun fully intended. They were, for some reason, Easter eggs were very hard to get your hands on this year.
Over here, it's unbelievable. And yesterday, I did find out to get them and guess what happened?
Sold out.
But there was no left.
There you go. So, what, now, are you doing that just for purely sentimental reasons, or do you have kids that you give them to, or what's the, what was behind purchasing the eggs?
They thought about my son.
Okay, good.
And I don't know.
Right. They were going to be chocolates, any particular kind? Did you have to settle for a Kinder Surprise?
Look, mate, as long as it looked like an egg and it was chocolate, I didn't really care what it was.
That's
Just had a lot of fun. Let's go again. Maybe I need to go back to Australia next year.
Well, you just need a care parcel to arrive, like a homesick parcel. And that just, the week before Easter, you just get a whole bunch of eggs and you're sorted.
You're a clever man. You said you were clever.
Well, they could have been at our place this morning and the kids were outside looking at Easter eggs and they got a whole heap. So we have eggs to spare. We actually, my wife went out last night at 10 o'clock and went to a 24-hour supermarket to get them. So that's what's involved, Craig. A fair bit of effort getting eggs. So thank you for the call. Bridget is in Frankston. Hi, Bridget.
Hi. Strawberry John Common in the AFL and the golf. And we really use the golf course for a drink like lemonade or whatever.
But who was the other table spread that did that?
AFL was one.
Yeah.
I think it was AJ, done AJ once. It's been talking this before.
No, talking Kraft Cream Cheese did that as well, and Vegemite, both put out. You could turn it into a glass, like you're saying, Bridget, that could be drunk out of.
Yeah. I've done all the stuff with, it was a lot of couple of 70s.
Yeah. sometimes you look at jams and it's all very fancy. You get forest and all this sort of. To me, it's the golden age of jams. That's what I call it, Bridget. Yeah. And you would remember too the same thing with chip flavours. Back then it was barbecue chicken, plain salt and vinegar. That was it. And now, no. It's like golden haired saffron with Himalayan ice meets the breath of an archangel named Gabriel. It's insane. Thank you, Richard. 13, 13, 32, 3.5 minutes to 3.
03539624, forgettable. 1300 love, unforgettable. 03394756, forgettable. 1300 install, unforgettable. Join the thousands of businesses who've realised phone numbers just don't work when advertising. Speak to Telstra Phone Works about an unforgettable phone work for your business and bring your advertising to life. Hurry while stock lasts. Call 1300 urgent. That's 1300 urgent. Try forgetting that.
Yes, Lloyd, it's just been time going on. Barbers can be a bit harsh, Richard. Wasn't my barber, Lloyd, it was the guys and girls standing tight now. Well, they should know. They are the tire safety experts after all. The tire power trick is to get a tire safety check before winter, or things could get a bit hairy on the roads. Bald tires, hairy moments, nice one, Richard. Safety with a smile, Lloyd. Good call. Visit tirepower.com.au to find out more. Tire Power Tire Safety Tips. What's the easiest way to get your property ready to sell?
Fix, sell, pay.
Instead of picking up a paintbrush, pick up your phone and call 1300 Fix Sell Pay. Our expert tradesmen will fix whatever is needed, and it's only after you sell you pay. Fix Sell Pay. So put the ladder down and put your feet up, because there's never been an easier way to get your property a real estate makeover.
Terms and conditions online at fixsellpay.com.au. Maybe you've had a good one and want to get back to the community through your work, or giving to a family or friends. Maybe you've long appreciated the good works of the Salvation Army, or something they've done has touched you personally. By making a bequest to the Salvos, you'll help them to continue helping others less fortunate. Help the Salvos change lives. Leave a gift of hope. Call the lender for your free donation booklet on 1800 337 082. That's 1800 337 082.
Wake up to the latest news, issues, and of course, plenty of fun. All the regulars are in for a chat. Sort out the underworlds. Fate from Source Bodies, starring Pam and they had a shotgun. Peter Ford. The document is extraordinary. I mean, it really was a showstopper script. Whether it's glass, gas, or you smell a bit of thortish, the line is always open. 3AW Breakfast, 5:30 weeknights. The unpaid wealth release, helping seniors with the money needed to live comfortably. Tony Mowbray on exclusive overnight.
3 o'clock, the news is up next, and then after that, Bob Tyler is on the line from California, USA. And then after Bob, we'll play the serial. The serial is back, it continues. And then, time permitting, there'll be a quiz that is at the back end of the 3 o'clock hour. There is a prize, of course, for that. 13 13 32, that is the phone number here. Bob Tyler after the 3 o'clock news, which is up next.
Coming up after the news, more of the Stormy overnight. Call now, 13 13 32. Selling your home? Ring Vendor Advocacy Australia. Green leads on Brooklyn. Family Real Estate Traps Exposed. 9438 8888. News. 13 degrees in Melbourne. Partly cloudy today. It's not completely true. Big 3 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Anthony Field. The former Democratic US presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is calling on America to work with China and other countries in the Asia Pacific to put pressure on North Korea. It comes as US Vice President Mike Pence touches down in South Korea just hours after the North tried and failed to launch a ballistic missile. Senator Sanders says the plan to contain the North military ambitions will require a bilateral effort.
The key point here is that the United States must not act impulsively, and we must not act unilaterally.
Police has been alarmed by the sight of an unmanned kayak released images in the hope that someone would recognise the kayak and come forward. It was found anchored and partly underwater about 150 metres from Sandy Beach, around 5 empty last night. Gun stores across New South Wales are on high alert amid revelations of more than 100 firearms licences may have fallen into the wrong hands. News Corp reports the Services New South Wales bundle led to the licences being sent to the wrong addresses. The state's firearm registry is now urging all gun dealers to pay extra attention to the identification of anyone who passes through their doors. 2 people have been charged with use of torturing a man in Brisbane in the south. Police say a 64-year-old man had been drinking with 2 other men. He was beaten and burned with a lighter and aerosol can after getting into an argument. He's been treated for burns to his arms, legs, scalp and face after the 2-hour ordeal. The 42-year-old and 44-year-old have been charged. As many of us indulge in chocolates this Easter, dentists warn a worrying number of children experience tooth decay even before they lose their baby teeth. More than 24,000 children were admitted to Australian hospitals last year for dental conditions which were potentially preventable. The Australian Dental Association's David Manton says people need to be aware of how much sugar they're consuming.
We realise from research that there are links between oral health and general health, and we know that children that have poor oral health tend to become adults with poor oral health.
A crocodile hunting fan has found 1 of 2 missing freshwater crocs in a creek at Peakhurst in Sydney South. The man had been on an Easter Sunday stroll when he spotted a sickly-looking crocodile. It's believed the crocodile is one of a pair stolen from a roving zoo in Sydney's southwest last year. Briefly, police are hunting a convicted sex offender who has escaped from Money Cow prison in Victoria's West. Authorities hold grave fears for a Sydney teenager who remains missing after disappearing in water off New South Wales Farming Coast. And human rights groups are calling for Australia to become the first Western nation to ban live downs. 3AW Sports. Get the 3AW smartphone app and listen anywhere, anytime. Hawthorn coach Alistair Harmson is looking for a more competitive effort. It's a Easter Monday encounter with Geelong at the MCG. The Suns defeated the Hawks for the first time in history last week by 86 points at home. Harmson says he wants to see a genuine commitment to the contest.
We're a really boring start last week, but we're going to be better in the contest. We're not going to get any prizes from Geelong tomorrow, but we need to make it fly. Yeah, hopefully we ourselves better.
Earlier, St Kilda beat Collingwood to claim its second win of the season. The final score at the Depth Stadium 69-55. In time, Galvin overpowered the hosts, beating the Lions 119-67. And Chris Yarran played his first game since being released by Richmond. He played in the Watford reserves, collecting 10 disposals before doing some boxing. Yarran told Seven, "It's good to be back."
Just I miss the ball. You know, that was my childhood dream to play AFL and to see it all go away like we did. Yeah, frustrated for myself playing in Jersey today, so I'll see how the year goes and then we'll take from there.
It's time 3:05. Hi, I'm Reed from Happy Tim. We believe in arriving on time. We believe every customer, small or big, deserves our very best deal. We believe in only hiring first-class window titters. We believe you deserve the highest quality window film. We believe in pricing you can afford. We believe in doing the perfect tint, or we'll fix it. We believe you'll be happy you chose Happy Tim.
Happy Tint, your home, your office, your car. Call 1-800-HAPPY-TINT. Visit happytint.com.au.
I'm Adrian from Greg for the Family Peace Foundation. Children can thrive on just 8 minutes a day of really loving, warm, undivided attention from their parents. Yes, that's all it takes from you. Just 8 minutes of really loving, warm, undivided attention for your children every day. To find out more, go to the Family Peace website or Facebook page now and view our short video on 8 minutes a day. Family Peace. It's in their smiles. 3AW weather.
And the weather for today around Australia looks like here's Bob Carlo on today's 9%. Melbourne currently 12.7. Today will be partly cloudy, probably 22. Canberra mostly sunny, 21. Sydney partly cloudy, 23. Tomorrow it's 15. Brisbane 16 at the moment there. Today will be partly cloudy, with 27. Darwin shower of 2 possible storms. 2 Perth with mostly sunny 27, and Hobart partly cloudy and 19 degrees. Right now, for the first time in I think 3 weeks, we're touching base with Bob Tarlo. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, good morning, Tony. It has been 3 weeks. I've missed you.
Well, likewise, Bob. I hope that you're well and in good health.
Yes, had a wonderful trip over to Europe, went to the Netherlands and Belgium, and had a very enjoyable time. And then had a good week last week with John and Pat. So, but it's nice to have you with us. Two things. I really missed talking to you last week when this whole business was going on right here in Texas.
Yes.
It was dragged off the point. I knew you would have a lot to say about that.
Yes, that was the, forget the mother of all bombs, that was the mother of all PR disasters.
Yes. Oh, well, good. Yeah.
It was
Well, good.
not good United. Now, Bob, we could chat for hours, and I would love to, but there are big news stories that you are covering up today. There's a lot of big news stories around at the moment. What have you got for us today?
Well, up front, Tony, this morning, the Korea's north and south Pyongyang's big military parade is followed by an embarrassing missile fizzle. While in Seoul, U.S. VP Pence has a strong message for America's troops.
Well, in the Gaza, freedom will never prevail on this peninsula.
As reported on Friday, the state of Arkansas has plans to execute 8 of those on its death row by the end of this month, starting tomorrow. It's all about an expiring drug, part of an execution cocktail, but now state and federal judges are telling Arkansas not so fast. Even a famous actor is weighing in.
Is there anything going on? The right thing must be done.
I'll bring you the latest. And in Berkeley, California, pro and anti-Trump demonstrators go at it, fist flying, fireworks thrown during one of a dozen tax day protests across America. Reaction to the president's continuing refusal to release his tax returns. Back during the campaign, Mr. Trump reveled in the leaked emails that WikiLeaks was spreading about Hillary Clinton's campaign.
Oh, we love WikiLeaks. Boy, they have really WikiLeaks. They have revealed a lot.
But now, Trump's CIA director is singing a very different tune.
A non-state hostile intelligence service often abetted by state actors like Russia.
And more of what the CIA boss is saying is just ahead. And finally, echoes of a countdown 2 decades ago. 5, 8, 7, 6. That count ended in the blast-off to a far-away world. And now, a surprise. We're just learning that speck in our solar system holds the makings of life. That's all ahead on this busy Easter Monday as Australia overnight with Tony Moco continues.
In this ever-changing world, in our ever-evolving city, that is one constant. 3 a.m. ago, none of us must listen to radio station. And now that's the one you depend on in times of joy. Stay tuned with tragedy, the chance of falling later, and disappointments. But yes, let us be honest when you meet alone. It's your time, your mistake. 480-693.
Welcome to Storage Geek. How can I help?
I want to get the kids in toys.
Excuse me?
No, sorry, I mean the kids' stuff. Oh, that's Cricket Kit, Amy's dollhouse, their baby clothes. I want to keep it all, but there's no space at home.
Okay, no problem. Storage Geek has the perfect solution. Is there anything else in the store?
My husband's.
Your husband?
No, sorry, not him. It's his surfboards. 32 of them.
Remove the stress. Call Storage King. The kings of storage, moving and more. On 1-800 Storage. Every contributor to the Ring File could be a winner thanks to Lexus of Blackburn.
A very large cruise ship with a no-show yesterday morning at Port Hilton. Later in the day, it linked into Melbourne with a broken propeller. Not sure if the replacement can be obtained at a local hardware store.
And winners of the week are each combined to win the yearly prize, the all-new Lexus IS 200T Luxury Sedan with a 2-litre 180-kilowatt turbocharged engine from Lexus of Blackburn. The Ring File, just after 7 on 3AW breakfast.
Enjoy the wonderful garden atmosphere of Greenways Retirement Village at their open day, Saturday, April 29, from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. Meet the caring staff, see the many lifestyle activities available, and view the full range of newly refurbished units. Enjoy a free sausage sizzle and and afternoon tea as you meet the happy residents. At Greenways Retirement Village, you're always in good company. So don't miss their open day. Saturday, April 29 from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. 331st and Dandenong Road, Seaford.
With a tribute to Aria Lanza.
Minutes past 3.